Well, it was, I thought a good win. They're always good. There's no such thing as a bad one. But just in looking quickly at our stats, we did get some of the goals our game goals, our 20 assists, less than 12 turnovers, on a night that we didn't shoot it particularly well. And so I think the silver lining might be that we managed to still score 91 points, sitting our starters for most of the fourth, being able to score that many points, but not shooting it well. Kind of seems like an odd thing to say, but I felt like we had great looks in the first half that just didn't go down. And that's, when I look down and see Brenna Wise is 3 for 11 and Alexa's 3 for 10 and JP's 4 for 11. That's atypical of those guys and being able to shoot the ball at a higher clip. So disappointed that we didn't shoot it better, but nonetheless, happy with the way that, we started especially the first quarter. Jackson State is a difficult team, not just to prepare for, but also we knew that defensively they were going to throw multiple looks at us, but yet on the offensive end, they're sort of out of. They don't run anything as far as continuity that you can really prepare for. You just know that there are going to be moments where there's a lot of shots taken, long shots, bad shots, random shots, hard to rebound a hard shot. And I thought tonight we were victims of being just difficult to rebound some of those tough misses. We were in the right place, didn't do what we needed to do as far as just back people out to come up with the rebound. But I thought our intentions were in the right place. So happy with the win, but realized that we got to shoot the ball much better. We got to guard much better, and we got to rebound much better.
You mentioned earlier in the year you challenged your team to get the assist numbers up, and when you're doing that with 20 and then mix that in with just only 7 turnovers, I mean, how efficient is it for your offense to thrive when you're kind of putting up stats like that?
Well, I think in the last 3 games in particular, our assists have been up, so it just I think speaks volumes to this team and how they want to share the ball and how they're willing to share the ball. And we always talk about making the easy play, making the right play. And our kids are understanding what the right play looks like and what the easy play is. And so give our kids credit because they're really unselfish. And I guess in spite of the fact that we had all those assists, every one of those kids got great looks offensively. So they weren't only just sharing the ball; they were getting their own looks. Just some of them didn't go down.
What kind of gauge do you have as far as where you are as the competition level kind of is going to ratchet up here the next couple of weeks?
Well, I think it'll be interesting. Friday as we go down to Florida, I think that's going to be a great road test. We haven't been on the road yet. And then that following week, we're really going to figure out and see where we're at and the things that we're going to have to be so much better at. I know once Big Ten season, comes along. And so we were intentional about putting this schedule together and how it looks. And, we want to get our feet wet early at home. And, now the challenge becomes going on the road. But I would anticipate knowing the leadership that I have inside the locker room and just how focused our kids are on our goals. I would suspect that, our mindset going in, even away from Assembly Hall, is going to be pretty much the same.
Coach, 15 points but 4 fouls for Mackenzie Holmes. You've talked how she's pretty polished offensively but still needs some work on
Right.
defense. Where do you see her development defensively?
Well, it's just in-game experience. We knew that, number 4 out there was a transfer from Mississippi State, so she was going to pose some challenges for her. But I thought Mac's biggest deal right now is that she's not what we call walling up well enough. When you're playing with a kid with her back to the basket and she turns, you just simply want to move your feet, and we call it wall it up. So you just get belly button to belly button with your hands straight up. And so her biggest tendency is to bring her hands down, and once you do that, that's an easy call for the officials. So it's as much just being disciplined and focused that you can't do that. as it is, because she is, from a rotation and a movement, for the most part, she's right where she needs to be. It's just that last minute she wants to try to block shots, which most big kids want to do. So a lot of that is just staying more disciplined. But I was pleased with the fact that she didn't foul out. I thought that showed a lot of maturity from a young kid. And the other challenge that I gave Jalen Penn was that she wasn't going to pick up her third. Or her fourth, I guess, going into the second half. And I challenged Jalen on, from a year ago, she would have been in a different situation. She would have picked up, I remember Northwestern, she picked up her quick fourth right as the second half started. And so we're seeing growth, not just from our young kids today, but certainly from some of those returners too. And we need Jalen on the floor and Mac.
Coach, you kind of mentioned in your open you weren't entirely happy with the defense, you want a little better effort, but I mean,
Yeah.
Jackson State was held at 25% shooting from the floor, 17% from three. What did you see out there that you didn't like about the defense?
I didn't think that we guarded the ball as well as we could. And what I mean by that is, all five have to be connected. Everybody is responsible for guarding the ball, but ultimately it's one-on-one, guard your man. And it just looked like to me, just watching us, especially in the second half when we got the lead, a little bit in the first, but mostly in the second, we were just getting beat off the bounce. And we knew that was one of our keys going into this game. The challenge for us was going to be able to guard our man without fouling, move our feet, contest shots, not foul jump shooters. And it just seemed like time and time again, we were watching with bad closeouts. We were watching, those ladies just, go right past us. And that's a pride thing. That's a gritty thing. And so every timeout, whether it was media or just a timeout, the challenge was we got to be so much better. Because as you mentioned, the competition's going to change here at the end of the week. And then once we go to the Virgin Islands, it's going to be a whole different deal. So we've got to be able to guard so much better individually.
Looked like in the first half, Allie kind of kept a little limp with her left leg. I mean, she obviously kept playing, so she seemed fine. But was there anything?
Yeah, I think she got. Maybe got kneed right there in the hamstring, which is painful. I think she put herself in a really bad situation, if I'm not mistaken. I think she tried to. Yeah, that's not good. So, not that I ever want one of our kids to come up limping like that, but she won't do that again. Let's hope. So.
Well, anything else?
Yeah, just one more question. So how do you get the team to be better at defending once you take on these? What steps
Sure.
are you guys going to take?
Well, there's a great thing, and it's an old saying, and everybody says it. Every coach's coach speak is the film doesn't lie. Right, and so they'll see themselves on film on Tuesday, getting beat off the bounce, and there's nothing worse than, being called out in front of your teammates or you watching yourself perform, at a level that is not good enough. And ultimately, in order for our team to have success, we have to have individual success, whether that's offensively and defensively. It's all tied together, and so come Tuesday, there's going to be a lot of, low moans probably in our film room, just watching ourselves get beat time and time again. But there's no better teaching tool than that. If that doesn't get their attention, then they got to be really happy sitting next to me. So they'll figure that out though.